The successful F-100 Super Sabre was developed into the North American F-107A Ultra Sabre in the middle of the 1950s. The F-107A had unique characteristics, such as an engine air intake above the cockpit, an always-moving vertical fin, and a system that automatically adjusted how much air was delivered to the jet engine. The F-107A, serial number 5118, the first of 3 prototypes, flew in September 1956 and reached Mach 1. A few months later, an F-107 flew at Mach 2, twice the speed of sound. As had happened with almost every Century Series aircraft, the F-107A ran into issues tuning the intake at the high Mach number throughout its flight test campaign. Some undesirable flying properties were discovered during the subsequent, more thorough study. The automatic variable inlet duct system developed a persistent issue as the flight test campaign went on, limiting the maximum altitude for sustained flight to 51,000 feet. The U.S. Air Force did not finally decide to cancel the F-107 and replace it with the F-105 Thunderchief until March 1957, as Ted Spitzmiller explains in his book Century Series, The USAF Quest Air Supremacy, 1950 to 1960. The National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, NACA, the forerunner of NASA, then leased the first and third F-107A prototypes for use in high-speed flight research, with the third F-107A's variable intake serving as one of the primary investigation points. A fixed intake subsequently replaced the variable area inlet duct, which reduced the top speed to Mach 1.2. However, the variable area inlet duct proved to be a recurrent cause of mechanical issues. According to Spitzmiller, the second area of interest to NACA and the USAF was the evaluation of a side stick, installed on the right side of the F-107A cockpit, in addition to the traditional center position. The North American Aviation X-15 rocket plane, then in the final stages of design, would use a hand controller that cradled the pilot's right arm so that the high acceleration forces imparted by the rocket engine would not cause unintended control input. The traditional center stick was for use after burnout of the rocket engine. As Spitzmiller explains, the first prototype had so many problems that NACA eventually grounded it and used it as a spares donor for the other 2. The third plane, which was turned over to NACA in February 1958, for the variable duct research and side stick evaluation, completed 40 flights before an incident ended its flying days. Test pilot Scott Crossfield, who was preparing to fly the X-15, was piloting 5120 F-107A, third prototype, during takeoff when he encountered control problems. The plane ground looped, blowing both main tires, and a small brake fire resulted. Although the airplane was not badly damaged, it was decided not to invest in repairs. Crossfield indicated that the desired attributes of the side stick had been demonstrated and that no further testing was needed. The plane was cut up for use as a firefighting training form. The second prototype, F-107A 5119, which was employed for weapons testing with both conventional and atomic bombs, is on display at the Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio. Airframe 5118 was purchased by the Pima Air Museum in Tucson.